What is good, JayMike Tech Talk, and today I have a bit of a treat for all you X-loving people out there. Chillax, the boot X, guys. Oh, okay. Anyways, what I'm talking about is, of course, the brand spanking new, the box fresh Adidas X17 PURESPEED. And today, I'm gonna look into why this is both super awesome and not the biggest revolution known to man at the same time. Plus, in the end, I'm giving away a pair of these, so make sure you're subscribed and let's look at why X marks the spot. First things first, yes, X17 PURESPEED is a continuation of the X16 Purechaos that we know from last year. But it's also received what I'd probably best describe as a facelift and, of course, a new name. Because tech-wise, there isn't that much new under the sun on X17 We've still got the two-piece upper construction with the inner Techfit sleeve running all the way from the heel to the seam on the midfoot. Think a glitch in a sleeve with the toe cut off, basically. And also, it's connected to the lace straps that gives you an adaptive fit and follows your foot. And they basically go all the way from the bottom of the boot to the top of the Techfit sock, where they really follow all your movements and locks your foot in, no matter which shape it has, because the straps are free to move. The whole thing then transitions into the pure cut ankle color, which is supposed to lock your foot down in the heel and then give you this seamless, smooth transition from boot to foot. Of course, we also have this kind of oddly shaped S-curve heel tap that's supposed to be there and give your ankle and your foot support when you bend it, but not really be in the way when you run normally. And it did feel pretty good on the X16 so I don't see why it shouldn't on the 17 as well. Of course, covering the whole Techfit inner shebang is the outer Speedskin shell, which is there to not only cover the laces but also give support and protection to the fabric Techfit sock. Again, think the glitch outer sleeve, but this time on the X it's actually been assembled and stitched together with the inner Techfit sock, so the whole thing doesn't move around. The big update is probably more on the visual side, because here Adidas have changed a fair few things. Gone is the clawed texture that we know from the X16 and it has been replaced by the debossed dotted pattern that gives the X17 a, should we say, more minimalistic look, and also gives you the sensation that the upper is perforated, although it's really not, it just looks like it. But also, this whole debossed nature of the dots actually gives the upper this very textured sensation, and it's only helped along by the fact that Adidas slapped non-stop grip dots on the entire upper from heel to toe. I really don't know why you need grip on the heel or in this area, but I guess it doesn't hurt anyone that the dots are there. Also on the inside, the X has become bigger, which I quite like actually. They've concealed the seam on the forefoot a bit better, and the sole plate is now matte instead of being chrome. But in terms of visual updates, that's about it. The biggest change on the tech side of things is probably on the toe box, where the material feels ever so slightly thinner and less airy and foamy compared to the X16 And it's not that big of a deal, but it's still something that I noticed immediately. It's still, as you can see, very soft out of the box, and it will break in almost immediately. But it does seem like the synthetic itself is a bit less stretchy and less elasticated compared to the previous generation. And for me, that's a bit of a shame, because I love the foaminess of the X16 But the same thing kind of goes for the part that covers the laces. It does feel a bit more tight and less stretchy and elasticated, again compared to the X16 But thankfully, putting it on your foot, it doesn't hurt in any way, and it doesn't really prevent you from tying your laces normally. And there's still enough room so you can get your fingers down and do the business. Whatever kind of business you need to do. But well, we're gonna leave that and talk about the last thing, which is the silicone strip on the heel counter, which has been put there to really prevent the upper and the sole plate from splitting and to give the boot a better durability. Here's hoping. So what does all of this mean? Is it a new boot? Is it an updated X16 Well, what is it? Well, one thing is for certain, it's not just an updated X16 with a new graphic on it. It's so much more, because Adidas might just have made little changes, but they're changes that sharpened up the whole boot in general, and changes that has me pretty excited about giving this a run out. I don't expect, however, this boot and the playing experience you get in the 17 Plus to be that different from the 16 Plus. So if you were expecting big, mind-blowing, oh my god, changes, you're probably going to be a bit disappointed. But you shouldn't be, because it doesn't seem like Adidas have done any damage or changed anything for the worse on the X. So my logic would be that if it's still the same boot as the X16 Plus, only a little bit better, then I don't see why this shouldn't be amongst my favorite boots on the market still, just like the X16 Plus was. Actually, it seems like the X went to get a bit of Botox and visited a numerologist to get a new name, but still managed to somehow stay super hot. And looking at how other second generation boots out there have fared, I think it's actually pretty impressive. I mean, taking the if it ain't broken, don't fix it approach seems pretty clever in this one. So now you know a bit more about the Adidas X17 Plus Pure Speed, and I'd love to know what you think about the new, updated facelifted boot in the comment section below. Also, if you fancy the boot and you want to grab a pair for yourself, you can get it on unisportstore.com. And if it's your lucky day, you can actually even win this. All you have to do is to tell me what changes you would make to one of Adidas's boots down below, and make sure that you're subscribed by hitting the green bubble over my head. Also, don't forget to leave me a like if you had a good time, and spread the word by sharing the video with your friends. And with that, I'm signing off. Cheerio.